Here is day 8 of Eternatus. I'm trying my best here, you know, but there's no rush to getting this done. Also, these are the shinies I got today. I got another shiny Costume Pikachu, a shiny Slowpoke, a shiny Gimmighoul. I swear the odds for a shiny Gimmighoul are pretty bad, but I finally got one. I thought this event ended long ago, but it's still going. You can even get the background and the 10th anniversary costume, which I have plenty of. And also today, I did a remote lucky trade for a shiny Mr. Mime. IVs turned out not that bad. Just some random person I have on my friends list. He wanted the, what was the yellow form? The pom-pom form of Oricorio. You know, I only try to trade for regionals. I don't care to get someone else's shinies. But hey, Mime Jr. Mr. Mime is a regional and shiny, and the dude had it as an offering, you know. He offered it as an option for us to pick from. It was offered as an option for someone to pick. So I picked it. Well, I actually filtered out from what I don't have in my decks. Let me see. I picked from shiny Mr. Shiny Mr. Mime, shiny Panseer, and shiny Sock, I think. And well, the guy allowed me to have his shiny Mr. Mime. Damn, it's a bit of a shame that this Mr. Mime is also in an Ultra Ball, but whatever. But hey, a shiny regional and lucky too, so nice. Alright, so I was late to doing this early tonight. I started doing this earlier tonight because I have nothing else to do. I started at 9:05. I was 5 minutes late to starting early. Man, I am pretty tired today, despite the fact that today wasn't a busy day and I didn't have to wake up too early. I got to sleep in a bit today, but I'm still tired, you know? Maybe this is the buildup of lack of sleep for the past 2 weeks. So, funny thing for the Amazing Digital Circus, a couple of things I saw pointed out online. First of all, there's an animation error. Wow, this time with the Wurmples, huh? There's an animation error. So, it's in the final episode, like damn near the last scene where they're having a meal together. I also didn't realize that not only did the final episode, the beginning mirrored the first episode, but so did the end. The ending of the last episode also mirrored the way the first episode ended, with them sitting together having a meal, and then the camera zoomed out in pretty much the same way. Anyway, so the continuity error is Ragatha. We see her talking to Kane, the camera pans around to show all our characters. That is not what we want. So yeah, she's talking to Kane, and then the camera pans around, and then we see Pomni. The camera shows Ragatha to Pomni's left, but all were right. And Ragatha, her background is different. The background she had when talking to Kane is completely different from when she was sitting next to Pomni. And then I also saw this post on Twitter. I don't know how true this is, but I did see a post saying that the creator of the show, or whoever, said how long our characters will live for. They will live until the computer they're in gets destroyed by a sledgehammer. I mean, that's pretty funny to think. I mean, the computer they're in does look pretty old. It looks like a pretty old, like, corporate 2006 computer. And another thing, too, when our characters learned the truth about who they are, and Kane was showing them Instagram posts, the posts said 2017 as the date. So that computer is already very outdated. You know, it's not flat screen like we typically have now. Okay, reported Pokemon's gone. Let's reset, because I know the Mime Jr. is just going to be in the initial spawn. Okay, so today was the finale. Today was the finals for the FIFA World Cup. Today was Spain versus Argentina. And let me tell you, it was a stressful 90 minutes. I tuned in only because today was the last game. And then it'll be another 4 years before the next World Cup. I'll be nearly 30 the next World Cup. Oh my god. So I only tuned in just because today was the last match. I didn't really care who won. I just wanted to see who would win. And actually, Spain won. Spain got 1-0. Actually, they did get another goal, but I don't understand the rules as to why that didn't count. Something about he didn't have someone defending the net in front of him. I don't know. I don't know sports. So, the FIFA World Cup has come to an end. It is now over. No more soccer matches late at night to watch. And what's interesting is, BTS performed... Was it Butter? Yeah, it was Butter. BTS performed during the halftime. I can never escape these guys, because my sister is a huge BTS fan, so... Naturally, BTS is in my life whether I like it or not. I can never escape these boys. Damn, imagine being handsome and rich and popular and famous. Damn, can't be me. So I do have to work tomorrow morning, early too. Yippee! I'm already over 600 hours playing this game. And to think, if I never did my alpha decks, I would have nowhere near that amount. By the way, I don't know if this is true or not, because you don't know what you can believe on the internet anymore. Was I Show Speed in the audience? The audience. In the Odyssey, the movie? Was I Show Speed in the Odyssey movie? I don't know. I didn't watch that film, and I don't plan to. Oh, speaking of the audience, so... The crowd had this disgusted expression, this disgusted tone, when during the FIFA match, Donald Trump was shown to be in the audience. I just laughed. I just kind of cackled to myself. Oh boy. The AI bots have shown up early today. Goodbye. Be gone. You know, I don't really see those things pop up in anyone else's chats, too. Like actual big streamers with thousands of chats, thousands of messages in the chat per second, and then the chat just scrolls up super fast. You don't even have a chance to see who's typing what. I don't really ever see those in the chat that make it through. So like I said before, I'm technically not allowed to share that my sister has a child incubating in her. I'm technically not allowed to say that yet to anyone. However, I'm growing more and more convinced that she may actually be. Because, you know, during this period, it's not 100% certain. You know, something could change. Something could happen. Could be a false alarm. But the reason I'm kind of leaning more towards it's actually the case is how much she's eating. My sister, she just does not eat. She does not like to eat. She eats the bare minimum to stay alive, but now she actually goes out of her way to find food, which she would never do. She may not eat a gluttonous amount like yours truly. However, she will actually go out of her way to find something to eat, which she'll never do. And then she showed her belly, which is like a hint chubbier. Like she may just be getting fat because she's eating more, but why is she eating more, right? I am concerned that it is a placebo thing, right? She thinks she may be pregnant, and thus the placebo effect is is making her think like, "Ooh, I'm hungry now because I believe there is a kid in me." I'm really hoping that the Mime Juniors and the Mr. Mimes there can actually be shiny, because there are spots in the game where spawns cannot be shiny. Kind of like the Goomies around the Alpha Sliggoo. Those cannot be shiny. Or the Teddy Ursas around the Alpha Ursaring. But those are around an Alpha, right? I mean, there's no reason they shouldn't be shiny capable, but it's just I don't think we've ever even found one of these ones that are shiny. No Mime Junior this time. Well, nothing for us in this run. Still got my berries? Yep, good. Nope. Otherwise, a sound effect would have played. A sparkle sound effect. Oh yeah, if it's not a surprise yet, if it's not known yet, I got nothing to talk about again. Look, I'm trying my best, okay? But I just don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time in the day. Hmm. You know what a mess my life has been put into? Because, well, I have this new job, and I'm gonna start working there more and more frequently as as time goes on. Because my coworker, she's gonna leave soon to have her kid, so I'll fill in the shoes. But then, after that's the case, only a handful more months later, well, my sister's gonna have her kid, assuming she will. And then, well, she's not gonna be able to work, so I'll have to fill in for her. Meaning I won't be able to work at the new place. And it would look pretty shitty if I were to tell my boss, hey boss, I know I haven't even worked for you for a full year, but I kind of need some time off right now because, you know, family at home. And it would sound very bad if it's like, well, I can no longer work for you. Circumstances have come up in my residence which prevents me from furthering seeking your employment at this establishment. What was that? What did I just see there? I thought I saw something big and pink. You know, still no Alpha Magnemite yet. Oh, it's taking its long, sweet time. It's taking its sweet time, sweet, sweet time. Really testing my patience. Aren't there usually two spawns there? Okay, so no Mime Jr. this time either. I got nothing to talk about, like, at all. For a second, I thought that was a green one of these. Clearly not. You know, everyone has their concerns when it comes to my sister's supposed pregnancy. More so after the kid's here. Because, well, my sister kind of can't take care of herself. How's she supposed to take care of a kid too? She may be looking for a place, like a new place, right now. Whether or not that'll be finalized by the time the kid's here, well, that's TBD. But if they do have their own place by the time the kid is here, well, we're concerned that she's not going to be at her own house very often. She'll mostly be here because she can't cook. Her husband can't cook. How's she going to feed the kid? Yes, she could either breastfeed or formula, but the kid's not going to only have that forever. So when it does come time for the kid to start eating solid food, uh, well, shit. Whoops, wrong button. You guys think Alpha Pokemon are going to be exclusive to the Legends series or sub-series of mainline games? I kind of think so. You know my idea? I said this idea of mine before. What if Pokemon Go introduced Alpha Pokemon? They introduce Alpha Pokemon into Pokemon Go. Literally every Pokemon has a chance to be Alpha, just like in these games, including Legendaries. So it would be different from Double XL or Mighty Pokemon. Like, they'll be the maximum size, like they'll be Double XL, but they'll also have the glowing red eyes. They even come with the Alpha mark. So, if you were to transfer them to Pokemon Home, they would also have the alpha symbol on them. And I tell you, if that's the case, I would certainly be playing Pokemon Go so much more. Because I would use Pokemon Go to complete a living alpha dex. Including raiding legendaries until I get them alpha. Can you imagine this? A shiny alpha legendary in Pokemon Go? And then when you factor in hundos or backgrounds... Because currently in Pokemon Go, nobody really cares about double XL. Or double XS, especially double XS. But it would be cool, like, I've gotten a couple of double XL shinies, and it's cool whenever I get them. Ah, you could have been shiny! And this whole thing would have been over. Damn, I wish I had more to talk about. This is why I go over shows and movies when I'm doing these, because I got nothing else to go over. Nothing else to discuss. Hmm. Any shinies? Yes, I got a shiny Mime Jr. Not Alpha, otherwise I wouldn't be still here doing this. But yes, we did get a shiny Mime Jr. Oh, by the way, I remembered another fantasy I have. Remember the fantasy of mine I mentioned before? No? Well, I'll tell you again, just to further embarrass myself. What have I got to lose at this point? So, the fantasy I mentioned before is, well, you guys know I don't speak Mandarin, like I absolutely don't understand a single word of the language. I have this ridiculous fantasy that a girl will borderline confess her love to me in Mandarin, but she doesn't want me to know, otherwise she wouldn't say it in Mandarin. So just like say it to me and it'll just completely go over my head. Like, what? I don't know what you're saying. Oh yeah, she says something to me all the time in Mandarin, yet I have no idea what she says. Hey, wait a sec, this is just that Russian anime girl thing. See? Exactly! See? Look, someone gets it! I'm not gonna lie, this fantasy I have does derive from that. Yeah, what a pathetic fantasy that is, and that's all it will remain, a fantasy. Cause Lord knows that'll never actually happen. And then I also fantasize one of my friends who actually does understand Mandarin, understands what she says, and he's just like, dude, do you not know what she just said to you? No, no, I don't. What'd she say to me? Did she say something bad about me? I don't know what she says. She says this all the time, and I have no idea what she says. Yeah, that's never happening. Keep dreaming, buddy. So that's the first fantasy I have. Do I need to express anything else to convey I'm a loser? Well, yes, because I have this other fantasy. Again, never going to happen, and I can provide an example of why this won't happen, too. So, I don't like going to Hong Kong. Jeez, has it already been like 2 years since I last went to Hong Kong? Sorry, no vlog, by the way. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that vlog has been cancelled. It just didn't work out editing. Anyway, so, I don't like going to Hong Kong. Before the last time I went, it was like 15 years since I had gone. So I don't like going there. But every now and then I will, just because my family is there. Well, my relatives. But I don't like going there. Especially not in the summer. You'll have to drag my cold, dead corpse back there if you want me to go in summer. It's hot enough over here. Anyway, so I don't like going to Hong Kong. However, I do have this fantasy because, well, I'm rather thick. I'm rather fat. Despite not being American, despite being Canadian, well, I still fall under the umbrella of fat Americans. So I have this fantasy that if I were to go to Hong Kong, all these Chinese chicks would actually find me appealing only because I stand out as fat among all the other Chinese boys over there. Because if you've never been, ain't nobody big over there. Everyone's skinny. The heat, plus the fact that people have to walk everywhere, it's no wonder none of them have any meat on their bones, right? So I have this fantasy that going to Hong Kong, all the chicks over there will be like, oh my god, someone looks different compared to the rest of the people here. He's fat. Wow, intriguing. Let's get to know him. Clearly he's a tourist, because he don't look like the Chinese boys over here. Yeah, another idiotic fantasy that will never happen. You want to know why? Because it would be saying, like, all the skinny guys over there would be interested in the fat girl who goes and visit. Yeah, that sounds even less likely. So, just another fantasy of mine that will only remain a fantasy. Because that's just not how reality works. I mean, let's face it. Whenever I do go back to Hong Kong, ain't nobody gonna look at me. They're not gonna... Their eyes aren't gonna focus on me just because I'm the fat guy among all the skinny guys. Man, I mentioned this before. Over there, I need to fit into their triple XLs. And you bet the triple XLs are never sold out. They always got thems in stock. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if when I asked for the triple XL, it's like, wow, really? Okay, there's a reason we don't even have them displayed, because nobody asked for them. They actually have to purposely go to the back and search for the triple XL. It's like, you're in luck. All we have in stock is triple XLs because nobody buys them. Everyone only buys medium to small, and if we're lucky, large. And then I come in like, cool, I'll take your entire stock. Well, there's your idiotic fantasies of mine that will never come true. Never become reality, because reality is disappointing. You know, my dad always tells me to be careful about who I pick, who I wife up one day, if that even happens. I feel like I'm at a point in my life where it's like, can I even afford to be picky? Shouldn't we all just consider it lucky that if anyone were to come into my life? Well, clearly she cannot be irredeemable, right? Has to be just a standard normal person. But if there are certain traits that are undesirable, I mean, let's face it, I am nothing but undesirable traits. And once again, I just gotta go check out the Gyarados. So, what are you guys out there up to? I don't imagine much. There's not a lot going on in the world right now, and that is absolutely not the case. Well, there's not a lot going on in my world right now. The air quality seems to have gotten better, but I hear that it's actually only going to get worse. I am so bored. Nothing to talk about, nothing to even look forward to in life these days. Not a lot of shows coming out. I mean, there are some. Not too many movies coming out soon to be overly excited for, besides Spider-Man. No games coming out to be overly hyped for. Hasn't been a game coming out lately to be hyped for at all. I don't think the sky is that orange when the sun sets. It was actually that very orange a couple of days ago when the smoke was hitting its worst. Wait, do this first. What? No Mime Jr. again! Lovely! What was that? Again, I saw something pink out the corner of my eye. Why aren't I charging my phone while I'm doing this? So at dinner tonight, my parents were talking about his side of the family, so my sister's husband's side of the family, how it seemingly seems like they're not a huge fan of his younger brother's wife. I mean, she's fine. I don't know her that well, but she's fine. I don't exactly know what gripes they have with her. But, you know, whatever gripes aside, you have to think that they must feel so fulfilled in life, right? Both their sons are married. Their younger son is an eye doctor. And they have a grandkid coming soon. Even though it hasn't been told to them yet. Like, that side of the family doesn't know yet. Like, you must think they feel so fulfilled. Well, actually, they'll feel even more fulfilled once they hear the news. It's like, damn. What I wouldn't do to be in that position, to feel that fulfilled in life. Do I feel even remotely close to that? Oh yeah. So full. So filled. But all jokes aside, absolutely not. I do not feel fulfilled in life whatsoever. And as I said before, I don't know if Grandpa's gonna be too excited when he hears that my sister is gonna give him a great grandkid, even if it's a boy. Because he only cares if I produce a great grandkid for him. It's like, sorry, Grandpa, I would love to give you a great grandchild while you're still alive and actually here to witness that happen. But unfortunately, that just doesn't seem like that's gonna happen. Not even anytime soon, like at all. And you know, think about all the people in my life who just will never get a chance to know. Well, Grandma will never know that she has a great-grandkid. Neither will Grandpa on my other side. There's also Billy and Toby. Billy passed long ago. So he couldn't even be here to see my sister get married, but Toby did. Toby was still here when my sister got married, but Toby, he didn't stay with us long enough to see the birth of her first kid. However, Sky will. Sky will be able to one day see a new baby come through the doors, but unfortunately, he won't be here long enough to see the kid grow up. That's just the reality. I even asked my sister, does she plan to see Grandma, the Grandma we still have that's alive? Does she plan to see Grandma at all? Like during this time or after the kid's here? Because I feel like, well, I don't know how it goes when it comes to flying in pregnancy. I think maybe it's not recommended, but I can't remember for sure. And even if she does fly to Hong Kong after she has the kid, bare minimum you would think like a year before you fly back, right? Especially bringing the kid with you. So that's around 2 years from now, if my sister is to visit Hong Kong and bring her kid with her to show Grandma. If Grandma's still here by then. And I just feel like roughly 2 years from now, if that is the case, Grandma's gonna see my sister show up with her husband, and then she's also gonna see a baby carriage, she's gonna see the kid and be like, who's this? Who is this little one? Like, actually, who is this? No more? That life was just never meant for me. That life was just destined to be out of my reach. Meeting someone, having kids, having a family. As much as I want something like that in my life, it just seems like that's not gonna be the case for me. And I just feel like I let everyone down because of that. Everyone's kind of has their eyes on me, in a way. Like, alright, it's your turn. When's it gonna happen for you? In a way, it's like, yeah, we're happy that she's finally having one, sure, but the real prize is waiting within your nutsack. We're waiting for you. It's like, damn. Well, everyone, you jinxed it. You jinxed it. You wanted it so badly for me, you made me want it so badly, it's like, well, now it's not gonna happen. Thanks. I also can't imagine moving to a different country and starting completely brand new for the sake of what's better for the kid's future, right? Because that's what my parents did. Instead of raising my sister and I in Hong Kong, we grew up in Canada. And I can't imagine actually doing that, leaving everything and everyone behind to raise your family in a different place, a quote unquote better place. Only country I could even think about moving to, like actually moving to and living there permanently, would be the US, because it's actually the closest, not geographically close, it is the closest culture-wise. It's still primarily English, they still use dollars. The cultures are almost identical, almost. I mean, if not the US, then maybe take a page out of PewDiePie's book and move to Japan. Ugh, I am so bored. And I got work tomorrow. You know, my mom did the calculations because she is very thorough with these numbers. She looked at my paycheck and so she crunched the numbers to make sure, all right, you work these days, is the pay accurate to the number of hours you actually were there for? So she did the math, and it almost seems like I'm being paid for only 7 of the 8 hours I work there. He did say he deducted 30 minutes for lunch. Eh. Well, at least I'm making money, of which I am spending all of it. There's just too many things to buy in this world. You know, I think to myself, if the apocalypse were to ever happen, and maybe, let's say hypothetically, it's an apocalypse that's not deadly. I don't know, like the rapture happens and I am the last person on Earth for some reason. I just lost on the cosmic lottery there, or maybe I won because I'm still alive. What would I do? Like, not survival-wise, what would I do? Well, I would pillage every single house I could get access to, and just collect as many neat knickknacks as I can. This is very much easier said than done, but would I be ballsy enough to actually travel across the ocean, travel to different countries to pillage? That is very easier said than done, because I don't know how to sail a ship or fly a plane. I don't know how to maintain one, right? There's no saying for weather. There's also no saying that by the time I get there, who knows what sort of natural disasters would have happened and completely destroyed the place. Like, if I were to miraculously sail over to Japan, maybe an earthquake has already destroyed the whole country. How long have I been doing this for? Almost an hour and 20 minutes. Do I actually dare hunt this on my own time? You know, after I'm done the Alpha Dex, of course. Like, let's say tomorrow I get lucky enough and I get both Alpha Magnemite and Magneton. Do I dare hunt this on my own time? Because this hunt not only has not only has already taken a long time, but also has the potential to take a very long time after this point. Because what I could always do, at least I think it could work like this, is what I could do is, before every time, I just do this. I just save the game before I go in. Or what I could do is I could go in, because it's determined once you actually go in, so is every time I come in, now I save the game. And then I check. Oh, that was an alpha, and how did it not spot me? I did also get my paycheck yesterday. It was for like $1,033. You may think that's not that much, but you gotta keep in mind I don't work like 7 days a week there. I only work like maybe 3 to 4 at the moment. And I get paid every 2 weeks. Do you guys remember that time when Rhett and Link bought Smosh? And then they sold it back to Ian and Anthony? I haven't kept up with Smosh in a while. I still, I still subscribe and follow them. I haven't really kept up with the channel, though. Man, I grew up on Smosh. You know, I actually had this idea to do a reaction channel and react to all the old Smosh skits. Because it's been like over a decade since I've seen them. I don't really remember any of them. And when I watched them as a kid, a lot of the jokes they said just completely flew over my head. I remember being in like 5th grade watching the OG Smosh skits, and now I'm already graduated college. I graduated college years ago. So that is an idea I've had. Actually doing a reaction channel. You know, I would react to Try Not to Laughs, movie trailers, whatever else, like a reaction channel. React to some of the old skits of my childhood, not even just Smosh. Other creators like The Dominic Show, Ryan Higa. What other skit channels did I watch back then? I don't know, man. Like, I could also react to some old content that I haven't seen in years, like Cyanide and Happiness. What about reacting to some old, like, Happy Tree Friends? Or some other, like, really... Oh, wow. All of them has one. What about stuff like some of those cursed YouTube animations? Remember Cupcakes HD? Or... God, what was that, like, Transformers? And then there's also the animation Furry Force. There's also some strange early day YouTube videos like Mario's Day Off. Wow, 3 Mime Jr. outbreaks here. Okay, let's first go to this one since it's right beside. It's right beside where the natural spawns are. This could be it. I'm not gonna get my hopes up, but this could be it. This many Mime Juniors. This could be it. If we get lucky. Let's see. If we even get one of these with an alpha horde afterwards, that'd be a huge win. Because then we can try to permutate that. Okay, so nothing here. What the hell? Bruh. I hate Mime. Mr. Mime so much in this game. Wait, you're not Mime Juniors. I never thought in my life I would put this much effort into shiny hunting Mime Junior of all things. Okay, so nothing for this one. You're not shiny. Do not knock me off. Thank you. It's so easy to forget that these spawn here. Like, I always forget that they spawn here in this map. This game's aim is atrocious. It is so bad. Damn, it's not looking good for us. Wait, wasn't there just an Eevee outbreak I just completely skipped over? Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. I actually meant to go and check that out. God damn it, you could have been shiny! Ah, there was nothing of interest. 3 outbreaks and nothing. Nothing of interest here. That's a shame. There was so much potential. Wait, no, save the game first. Do you guys also remember when Cloak and Dagger crossed over with the Runaways? Like, now that the Netflix shows are 100% canon to the MCU, they've been folded in. Wouldn't that also mean all the other shows are canon too? While no direct crossovers with the Netflix shows, Runaways did reference Luke Cage and even Wakanda. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had very loose connections, loose references. And, no direct crossovers. Damn, imagine this. Imagine if the Marvel shows, like the actual cable and Netflix and what other Marvel shows, before everything was Disney Plus. Imagine if they did what the Arrowverse did, like a multi-crossover event where each show has an episode. Although that would be a logistic nightmare considering it's on multiple networks, each of these shows. You have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC. So the first part of the crossover would be on ABC, and then part 2 will be on Netflix. Will be a Daredevil episode. Part 3 will also be on Netflix, a Jessica Jones episode. Part 4, Netflix, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, maybe Punisher, but let's not say that yet. And then it's like, well, I don't know, part 7 on, what was it, FX? No, not FX. What was... Oh, I forget. What was the Runaways on? Well, whatever. Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, back onto cable for another part of the crossover. It's no wonder they never did it, because the CW had the advantage of all their shows being on one network. How long is this gonna take? I would like it to be over 2. You know, I got other things I would like to move on to playing. Nothing original, that is. Longer than Heatran, more than likely. Because unlike Heatran, the odds are significantly worse. Oh, I need to make it daytime. Heatran was 1 in 100, but each encounter took like 15 to 20 minutes. Well, maybe more like 10 to 15. 10 to 20. And then, there was no guarantees I would even encounter Heatran, right? Sure, this one's consistent-ish, but the odds are way worse. I have maybe like 1 in 500-ish chance for it to be shiny, but then it's like a 1 in 100 for it to be alpha. You can do the math. Tell me again why I decided to do this? Maybe I should try hunting this on my own, but after I'm done my alpha decks. Again, can you believe I was actually going to do this without the shiny charm? Oh. I be forgetting sometimes. Well, good to know there was no point. Nothing again. I really have nothing to talk about. Amazing. This is what happens when I don't have time anymore, and I'm not able to watch as many movies and shows. What are you up to? Yu-Gi-Oh? Bakugan? Gaming? Yu-Gi-Oh? Ah. What even is there to do in Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, you can see for me, what is there to do in Pokemon? Did I just see something? Why did I just see sparkles? Whatever. You can see, at least I have stuff to do in Pokemon after I've beaten the game and whatnot. Play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a foreign concept to me. I don't even play Yu-Gi-Oh card. What? I don't even play Pokemon cards. I never did. I only collected them. You know, at work, there's this lady who works at the grocery store beside me. She often comes in looking at the Gucci's and the Pradas, wanting something expensive and nice. But the collection we have doesn't interest her, so she constantly comes in. It's like, when are you getting anything new? And I'm like, well, we have to sell what we currently have before we can order new stuff in. Like you look at this display case, you can see we have a fair number of stuff in here. And you've seen none of them get sold the last time you came in. You know the smoke in the air mixed with Toronto air? Toronto already smells pretty bad. The air in Toronto already stinks in general. When you mix the two together, yeah. There's nothing more desirable in the world. I liked it when the sky was at least yellow. I gotta admit, it was an interesting experience. I can at least say I've experienced something like that in my life. Waking up and then suddenly seeing the outside look like a warhead nuke just dropped on us. It was visually interesting, at least. Mexico filter. Yeah, we had that Breaking Bad filter over us. So this is what it's like to have a filter applied to real life. You know, some shows you can kind of understand why they do a color filter for some reason, like Breaking Bad. I'll be honest, I haven't seen Breaking Bad yet. I want to, though, one day. And then you have other shows that do a filter for absolutely no reason, like Fear the Walking Dead did. Seasons 4 and 5 were borderline black and white. They had this harsh gray filter for no reason. It was borderline actually a black and white show. The Walking Dead franchise as a whole was like a dead, limping corpse near the end. Fear the Walking Dead fell off after season 3. Hard. Walking Dead, it was all downhill after, what was it, season 7? Like, people were massively disappointed by season 7. And then season 8, they killed off Carl. Worst decision, period. And then while the spin-offs aren't bad, yeah, they have their fair share of problems. The way too short runtime of 6 episodes. The fact that the main characters in the title, kind of gives away that they have plot armor and they will not die. And the spin-offs feeling not only directionless, but also feeling very disconnected. I mean, unfortunately, some of the disconnection makes sense. Daryl is in goddamn France, and then Spain. Not a whole lot of connections being made there to Maggie and Negan being in Manhattan. But a show like Dead City, for some reason, just straight up refuses to acknowledge the Commonwealth and anything really from the main show. Well, I shouldn't say anything. Maggie does reference Glenn. We did see Annie and Joshua. Albeit very briefly. Mm, as much as I love this franchise, I really do think it's time for the franchise to end, or at least the chapter with these characters to end. And I wouldn't be mad. Norman Reedus has been playing Darrow for 16 years now. I would not mind if they were to end all of our current characters, give them happy endings, because at this point, saying they die and that's their ending, that would just be a huge slap in the face, because we followed them, not only throughout the main show, but also through a bunch of spin-offs as well. So, killing them off just to have that be their ending would be a huge slap in the face. I wouldn't mind if they were to sunset these characters and then give us a new show. Like what you did with Fear the Walking Dead. Give us a new show that goes over a new group during the initial outbreak. It's not hard, AMC. Or if you want to go to the totally opposite direction, you could give us the next generation, right? All the kids who grew up in the apocalypse. Well, I'm about to end this. Well, we end off today without what we're looking for, but we did get a shiny Mime Jr., so that's something at least. Let's check the Infernape, and then we will call it for today. No. Ah, fine. Because the Pichu's outbreak is right here. Let's check the Pichu as well. Flew right over it. I looked down for a moment. Nope. Okay, well, I'm gonna call it for today. Back to alpha hunting I go. Cool, okay, bye.